Hello, hello, hello. Keep it simple. Good evening to you. How are you doing? Patty, hello to you. Sunflower Marcia, Alicia. Well, look at this. You guys are amazing as always. Thank you for being here. Hello, you was here. Uh, I was here. Yes, you were. So maybe you had to run or something, huh? Um, anyway, how's everybody tonight? How are you? What is your part of the world doing right now? How is it? Are things calmed down a little bit? Are you in the middle of storms and chaos, or what is going on for you? Um, we finally had yesterday. What was yesterday? Yesterday was, I think, a little windy. We've had really, really windy days. We had I got almost 7 inches of snow through last week. And it wasn't like one big snowstorm or anything. It was just like little ones all week long. I mean, it would like snow all day, but it'd be like that real gentle snow. And then we'd have a day that would just be 30-mile-an-hour winds and just blowing everything all over the place and drifting. And then we'd have another day with a little snow. I mean, it was just kind of a back and forth like that. So today was about 25 degrees, sunny some of the day, then cloudy, and but just kinda there. So it's supposed to be nice for Thanksgiving, as far as I know. You get your first dusting of snow, very good. You put your lights up outside. Oh, that's so great. Yes, that is something I should do this week when it's warmer. I really need to do that. So, Kiri, good evening to you. Are you tired of winter already? You want those 115-degree temps back, huh? You get those long enough. Grammy Karen, hello to you. Oh, so what well, it's only 2 minutes after the hour, so we give it a little bit of time, but 100 degrees sounds wonderful. Oh, yeah, not for me. Nope, not for me. In fact, this is weather that's nice. I could just go out in a long sleeve shirt and I'm fine at 25 degrees. Uh, yes. I had to my, it sang for church yesterday, and so the person who was leading music, she was in there, and she likes things a little bit warmer, and so she had cranked up the choir area has a separate, heating unit, and they're sitting under the chairs that we sit in and stuff like that, kind of a wall unit. And she had cranked it up to, like, 75 or something, and I came in after her, and I was just like, I was just dying. I was like, "Can I turn this down, please?" And she just laughed at me because 'cause I'm the one in the summer, I need a fan going, and it's like, "Let's open these windows, get some cool air in here." So, yeah, she she just laughed. She's pretty easy about that, but she just, like, needs it really toasty, and I'm like, "No, I like it a little cooler here." Hey, Bex, how are you doing? Most of your house is unheated. Oh, ooh, yeah, Curie, 40s inside definitely is. Do you have a space heater or anything? Um, Graham, can you have a Great Pyrenees? I did not know that. Really didn't want pups. Oh, they will do that. Can't stop the force of nature there, that's for sure. Uh, um, so what do we have here? Yeah, it's too cold for inside temp. I keep my house at 68 degrees, and that's comfortable. I had it at 67 all fall, and which was fine for me, but then once the snow came and the winds were blowing and the temps were getting down into the teens and single digits at night. I'm just like, "I need that extra degree." And so it's amazing how just 1 degree makes a difference, but it does. So, anyway, you have 4 grapefruits. Oh, I did not know that. You were teaching a class for the master gardeners, and an old woman turned the heat oh, no. Oh, I know my parents always they needed it at minimum 74 to 75 degrees now. So usually the closer to 80 that they could get was better, and I would just during the summer, it's not so bad, because, if I'm outside in the heat and used to that and everything, that's one thing, but when I'm used to 68 degrees in the winter and, your blood is thinned enough for it or whatever, and you're just used to those and you still dress, the same. You go to another house that's 80 degrees and it's like, yeah, oh, I hear you. The HVAC unit for the Sunday school classroom is dead. Oh, no. Teaching the nursery, a different building, it does have heat. The apartment, he stays about 67 to 60. Oh, that's nice. It is amazing that when the wind blows, even though the temperature can stay the same, you get that draft coming in, and that's just like, yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Patty. Hey, Caitlin. You would have been melting. I know. I would have been hanging out the window and just gasping, and it's like, please. Oh, well, oh, good evening. Keep it simple. Hello. I saw before you just said my name there, and I wasn't quite sure what you were trying to say or anything. So, good evening to you. Um, Patty, you were literally peeling off whatever you could. Had to ask. That's all I know. Oh, Ricky, hello to you from Minnesota. You're back in Minnesota. You have been all over the place. Oh, if anybody wants to see all kinds of adventures, I mean, it says Ricky Ventures, but it's like you put AD in front of it, and it's like he's been all over in the place. And it's been fun to see you document everything too. And it's great. Thank you for doing that. So, doing from Yellowstone all the way up to northern Minnesota. So, yeah, 85 in the winter is way too hot. Absolutely. I need to set up my little humidifier because it's starting to get really dry in here, and I can tell a difference, like, in my skin, my hair, and everything, and it's also talking. That's why I'm drinking more. It's like because the air is dry, so I need to get to humidify in here. It's probably we're probably at about 20% humidity or so in here, maybe 15 to 20%. So, just with I have an LP furnace and it's forced air. So it just, all of that added to it just kind of dries everything up. So, yep, Christmas is getting closer, Caitlin. It is. So, and I'm sure you're going to have lots of snow yet, or for when the time Christmas comes. Absolutely. So, yeah, Ricky, how much snow do you have over there? He's in eastern Minnesota. I'm on the western side, so I've got about 7 inches here, that's accumulated over the week. And of course, this week it's gonna be, upper 20s, low 30s, so some is starting to melt already, but, anyway. Howie, hello to you. Good to see you here. Absolutely good to see you here. So, anyway, for all of my fellow Americans, um, just I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving and just early happy Thanksgiving to you. I know the Canadians had it a little bit ago, but anyway, and I think we addressed it at that time, but if I didn't, happy belated Thanksgiving to my fellow Canadians, or not fellow, my neighborly Canadians, my Canadian friends, and, but anyway, oh, great days to you too, thank you. Um, so what are your plans for Thanksgiving? What are you going to are you staying home, having people to your house? Are you going somewhere? Um, all that kind of thing. So I will be visiting with my family, um, just there and back. And so it'll be it'll be different this year because we're gonna be missing two more people. So it's getting smaller. It's getting much smaller, so Dave isn't here. I wonder if he's snowing or something. Usually he's here. I bet he's coming pretty soon. Last time I said this, he popped on right away, so, um oh, that's cute, Kiri. She asked if you were born on the first Christmas. It's like, "Do I look 2,000 years old?" Mhm. That was very cute. So you're gonna go to Friends again this year? That's good, Patty. I'm so glad that you have that. That's great. Yeah, I'll be with family and, so what do you guys usually make? What is your traditional food for Thanksgiving? And I'm not just talking just pumpkin pie, but anything within the meal. And what do you like to make? And what is yeah, what do you make? Do you all bring like a potluck or does somebody like to serve everything? Hey, Glenn, good evening. So in my family, we do all bring something. So we all contribute to the dinner. My older brother hosts, and his wife they host. They so it will be very fun. It will be really good. And usually I do pies, but this year I'm going to do something a little different. So I'm just doing salad and I'm bringing some of my home canned uh, cranberry orange sauce. Cat sauce, yeah. Anyway, and I'm gonna have it as a side dish, but also as an appetizer over cheese. What do you call it? The cream cheese. It's not like that cheesecake. Oh, cranberries over cheesecake, but it's like, yeah, cranberries over, and I know if I added some jalapenos to it, that makes it really, really good, but I also have a family who doesn't really like jalapenos and hot stuff like that, so, um, no worries, Alicia. You're doing an apple pie, Glenn. Very good. So are you going to go to, um, are you traveling somewhere then to go to friends or family, or are you staying home? Okay. Well, Alicia, you guys could celebrate our Thanksgiving. It's this Thursday. So you can still have that celebration. Just make a turkey dinner and pie, and you can do that. So you're traveling to Glen, okay? Um, yeah. So we always have the usual turkey dressing, mashed potatoes, green bean casserole. Ooh, I don't see. I don't have a. My mom used to make rolls all the time, but I don't have. She always used a bread machine. My sister has the bread machine, so I'm wondering, how could we do those rolls? I don't know if I have time to hand make them. I don't know. I will have to check that out. Although I could put the dough in my KitchenAid mixer with the dough whip, right? Or the what do you call the dough beater thingy? I don't know. It's kind of, and that could knead it for me. Could do that. I have to think about that one. So, you decided you wanted to all get together for a happy occasion since it's usually a funeral. Oh, very, very good. Good. Yesterday you were trying to focus on the meaning of Thanksgiving. The kids were already focused. Well, it doesn't help that everything out there is Christmas right now, right? I mean, it's like, oh, I just realized I'm getting the light here in my eyes again. Sorry, guys. I don't know how I'm going to change that. So you're you're seeing two two round thingies there in my eyes. Why didn't you guys say something here? Oh, maybe I don't know if this is any better. It's got to be just my new glasses, the angle that they're at or something. There, I'll turn them in a little bit. It's not picking up the angle now. There we go. I got it. See if I can read now. Hey, Matt and Sarah, hello. Oh, happy Thanksgiving to you too. Oh, happy birthday to Evan. How old is he today? Use your mixer dough hook. The hook. There you go. Usually knead you by hand. Let's hear a really good recipe for honey bread. Ooh. Yeah, I just might do that. JMB, hi, how are you doing? I know, too soon for Christmas. It's like, but you see everything decorated for Christmas and everything. Last week, my siblings and I went to a dinner theater for a night out for just our family, just for us as brothers and sisters. And so we went to see Footloose, and it was lots of fun. It was a lot of fun. It was down in Minneapolis, and so it's yeah a bit of a trek for me, but it was so fun. It was really, really good. But they had the lobby all decorated for Christmas. There's a Christmas tree in there, everything. And you see that everywhere. And I'm like, since when did things get decorated before Thanksgiving? And I know a lot of people are doing that. And, um, you know, we talked about that last week too, but it just kind of, it throws me off. It's like, well, wait a minute. What holiday are we getting ready for? So anyway, yes, happy birthday to Evan. Happy birthday to you. There you go. There you go, Evan. Um, so anyway, we had a really good time, and it's something we're gonna try to do on a more regular basis and try to keep that going. And it was just it was a really fun time. This dinner theater runs. They've got like three different um, areas. Like this one was a main stage with all the tables and everything, and oh my goodness, they seat I don't know 200 people at least to feed, something like that. Probably maybe even more. 250, maybe close to 300. I don't know, but I mean they just pack us in there. And then there's another concert area, and then there's another production area. So they've got things going on all the time. They have a concert series. They have Footloose has been running since last January, I think, and they I believe do 6 shows a week. And so I mean it's just been um, they really do the work. They've I think before Footloose, I believe it was Mamma Mia. They've done like Grease, Sound of Music, Music Man, Oklahoma, West Side Story. I mean, just all the really great musicals out there. And so the next one they have, um, oh, I thank you, Joy. I mean, yeah, no kidding, right? It's, oh, that's true, Alicia. You guys, that's true. You've got 2 months there before between times. So anyway, the next one that's coming out at this is called the Chanhassen Dinner Theater. If anybody wants to look that up, that's up to you. But they have the next one production that's coming out is called The Prom, and it's a new one right off of Broadway, apparently. And so I've never heard of it before. And that's going to start in February and probably run through at least the end of December next year. So it's kind of like all year. So I don't know, they're just the cast is so phenomenal and it's just so good. And yeah, the dinner is excellent and they give you lots of choices. And it's, let me see. Oh, here's the program for it, Footloose. And so it was, yeah. Oh, yeah. They in the program, they even show, they started in 1968. And so they've got a list of all of the shows that have run since 1968. And they said Grease and Camelot, Sister Act, Mary Poppins, Hello Dolly, Fiddler on the Roof, Hairspray, Xanadu, Jesus Christ Superstar, Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, 42nd Street, Swing, The Producers, Beauty and the Beast, Annie, Cats. I said The Music Man, My Fair Lady. Just, I mean, it's just, and then every so often, some of their top ones they'll run again, like every 12 years or something. Then they'll do a repeat. You know, with a whole new cast and crew, of course. But yes, Sunflower Marsha, The Prom. So that's the one that's opening in February on the main stage. So new musical fresh from Broadway is the Chanhassen Dinner Theaters is where they do it. So yeah, it's a pretty incredible place. Then they have a lot of concerts that have like the tribute bands, you know, like tribute to the Beatles and Neil Diamond and Pink Floyd, the Bee Gees, Jackson Brown. What are some of the others? Bing Crosby, you know, just a whole bunch of different tribute bands that they have concerts for. So they have a lot of Christmas concerts coming up and everything. But it was just a fun time. It was really, really good to get out there. Dave, hello. I was talking about you before. Oh, yes, I was like, where's Dave? He's always here. Oh, but anyway, no worries that you're late. So I'm glad that you're here. So, Dave, I was talking about a musical that my siblings and I went to this last week, and we went to Footloose. And yeah, it's a playbill for a musical, and it's a dinner theater. And so we just had a really, really good time. It was great. So, which one is on Netflix with Meryl Streep? Oh, Mamma Mia. Oh, yeah, that one is so good too. My sister and younger brother went to that one twice. It's been years since I've been to this dinner theater, but anyway, it was just so great. And in here they have the menus. So, what are some of the things that the entrees for the evening? You could choose from chicken, grilled top sirloin, orange roughy, Italian pasta primavera, vegan loaf, vegetable lasagna, boneless fried chicken tenders for the kids type of thing, and a cowboy chopped salad, which is gluten-free and vegan. You could also get salmon or prime rib if you want to pay a little extra. Then they have a whole list of appetizers and everything too. So yeah, the prom, that's it's the next one that'll be playing. And that comes from Broadway. So I have no idea I haven't looked into it yet to see what it's about, but it might be kind of, I mean, that they go for such a long time. So that'd be kind of fun to see what it's all about. Out the boot. Okay. So We talked about what you're doing for Thanksgiving, what do you make, and what are you going anywhere? What is your favorite Thanksgiving food? I don't know if we mentioned that last week or not, but what is your favorite Thanksgiving food? For me, boy, goodness sakes, what would I like the best? Um, I do like the turkey. If the dressing is really made well and it's not dry, then I do like that too. But otherwise, even just a really good salad. Um, Depends on how the green bean casserole is made. But the pies are really good too, only I can't eat them anymore. So, but the prom is on Netflix. Okay. Homemade cranberry sauce. Whoo. I have some cranberry orange sauce I'm bringing this year. So that would be good. Candied sweet potatoes. There you go, Marcia. Oh, that's true, Patty. There you go. What's not like to like. That's why it's so notorious for being so stuffed at the end of the night, right? Because like everything is so good. Everything is just so good. Okay. Um, for a few of my or for any of my non-American friends, I'll just give a little quick brief history of Thanksgiving here. And just give you some So the pilgrims that came over from Europe to America landed on Plymouth Rock on December 11th, 1620. So we're almost coming up to, what is that, a 402-year anniversary? Ooh. You girls have taken over your kitchen and are baking cookies. Oh, is that going on right now, Glenn? Oh, how fun. So you're like, let me get out of the way and go to Kathy's live, right? Uh, so their first winter was very hard, but the next fall they had a good harvest from the seed they had planted. They decided to celebrate with a feast, including the Indians who had helped them survive their first year. The men went hunting to get meat for the feast. It is not certain that wild turkey was a part of their feast, since they used the term turkey for any kind of wild birds. Um, oh, it's their kitchen right now. Well, that is fun to have them around doing that, I'm sure. Another food that we almost always have at Thanksgiving is pumpkin pie. It is unlikely that the first Thanksgiving included that treat. The supply of flour had been used so that there was no bread or pastries of any kind. But we had talked about what they probably did was, set it in the fire and have just kind of a cooked squash. We talked about squash a couple weeks ago. Pumpkin was plentiful because it grew here wild and they ate it boiled. There was also no milk, cider, potatoes, or butter. There were no cows to produce milk, and the newly discovered potato was still thought by many to be poisonous. Probably if they didn't cover it, it would have been, but the feast did include fish, berries, watercress, lobster, dried fruit, corn, clams, venison, and plums. All the things that would grow wild and wonderful there. Your ancestor Peregrine White was born on the Mayflower. You're 13 generations removed. Wow, Kiri, that is amazing. His father, William White, died that winter. In total, 4 people died the day he died. Wow, what a history there. Thanksgiving was not held every year. In fact, it was not until June 1676 that now this is 56 years later, that another day of Thanksgiving was held. Thanksgiving was officially proclaimed by President Lincoln in 1863 to be celebrated the last Thursday in November. In 1941, Thanksgiving was declared a legal holiday by the United States Congress to be celebrated on the fourth Thursday of November. So, as you celebrate Thanksgiving this year, talk about the foods you prepare for the holiday and see and how they are the same or different from the foods eaten at the first Thanksgiving. So, we're going to talk about corn tonight. We've talked about squash and pumpkin a couple weeks ago and different things, but um, we when we talk about the pilgrims and the first Native Americans and everything, and we hear the word maize a lot, Maize, not the Maze, which is like the the pattern of, all these little hallways that you run into, and then you run into a maze like that. No, this Maize, which is another word for corn. But let's just see if there are any differences between that, or if they are one and the same. But first, corn was a very important crop for the Pilgrims and the native Indians. It was the main food and was eaten at every meal. There were many varieties of corn: white, blue, yellow, and red. Some of the corn was dried to preserve and kept for food throughout the winter months. Corn was often ground into cornmeal. Cornmeal could be used to make cornbread, corn pudding, corn syrup, or could be mixed with beans to make succotash. So corn was unknown to the Pilgrims before they met the Indians. They didn't have any of that over in Europe at all. So Indians gave them seeds and taught them how to grow it. Today we grow more acres of corn than any other grain. So we eat corn fixed in many different ways. And there's a recipe for the easy corn casserole. If anybody is interested and wants to try something different, uh, I've put it in the show notes below. So if any one of my mods wants to provide um, that link there, that would be great. So if you want to try it, it's an egg, margarine, whole kernel corn, creamed corn, corn muffin mix, and some sour cream. And just mix that all up, put it in a baking dish, and bake it. And it's really pretty easy. Now, if you're allergic to corn, obviously, that's nothing that you would be doing, right? So, um, so anyway, it kind of gives you an idea of where corn comes in and why we have, you know, the differences and, kind of what everything's going through. So, corn and maize are both terms that refer to the very same grain. Now, corn is considered a cereal grain. Um, the word corn is primarily used in the North American English, and maize is used in the British English. Now, how did that come about? Well, when Christopher Columbus made a pit stop on an island in 1492 near the Northern Antilles, the indigenous Taino people on the island shared their primary food crop with him and his crew. Their primary food crop was what we now call corn, but the Taino farmers called it maize, Maiz, maize, which in their language means source of life. The Spanish brought samples of the grain with them, and eventually the name maize evolved into maize. So they brought it with them, and then they brought it back to Europe too, and that's why the Europeans, or the Brits anyway, you still use that term. They still call it maize. So if you're talking about corn, maybe now they know to associate and everything, but that's the term that they call it in the UK. So if you're there and people are going, "Oh, yes, maize." I was like, "What?" I thought that was just an old, 1600s Indian thing and everything. It's like, "No, here's a can of maize." And you go, "No, it's a can of corn." And it's like, "No." So, anyway, maize is an accepted scientific term and an international term for corn, as it clearly references only the one particular grain and cannot be confused with other food sources. Okay. So when you say maize, it's very specific. It's only referring to corn. Hey, Donna, how are you? Um, the word corn, on the other hand, can suggest different meanings based on context and location. Um, so anyway, the word maize can actually refer to the food crop, especially prior to harvesting. So whatever is growing in the field, they would call maize. And then corn refers to the harvested product or the food at the market or on your dinner plate. Why they have a difference, I don't know. And how we ended up calling it corn as opposed to maize. Yeah, corn on a foot for that'll work too, I guess. Um, uh, so maize actually it originated in Mexico. Um, it came from a word called teosinte, and which was a little bit of a different looking plant. It had a single solid stem with long, narrow leaves that grow alternately, just like a corn does. Um, but it was small and bushy, kind of. The difference in their appearance is due to the variation of their genes, all this other kind of stuff between teosinte and maize. They can be subjected to crossbreeding. It's just, I don't know. There's just a whole bunch of stuff. So anyway, ancient farmers in Mexico are known to be the first to domesticate maize. Um, so they noticed that the plants were not all the same in appearance. Some grew larger than others, and some kernels were tastier. So they selected the best ones that got desired characteristics and cultivated them for the next harvest season. So the process, as we know, is called selective breeding, and from which the modern maize originated. So there we go. Yes, Donna, they are essentially the same thing. It's just from where you end up getting, the terminology, and if you're speaking about it from one. Now, on the scientific world, um, internationally, they refer to it as maize because it's very specific to what it is. Whereas, again, corn could be all kinds of. Apparently, there's different things for corn, which they didn't really go into, so I'm not sure. Um, so both the words corn and maize refer to as the most important food crop, typically the white or yellow kerneled fruit that comes on a cob protected by a husk. So there you go. Um, the, the two words are often used interchangeably and are, for the most part, different terminologies that are used to describe the same subject. So, yes. Uh, anyway, a friend of yours from England says they never ate corn. That is what they fed the cows. Okay. Interesting. We should ask her if they eat maize. Because it might be might be something different there. Who knows? Um, and corn is actually part of the grass family. Did you know that? It's part of it. It's a cereal grain. Um, Corn is also used as a filler. Now, these are some of the other uses done for corn. It's used as a filler for plastics and an important ingredient in the production of insulation and adhesives. So, if you're wondering why in the world do we grow so much corn, well, it's not used just for um, corn on the cob or canning it or making out of field corn to feed our animals, which is a huge thing in itself, but we use it for all of these other things, which I don't know. That's a whole nother subject and a whole nother debate there, I guess. Um, but to use it in the production of insulation and adhesives, it's also used to create explosives, various chemicals, paints, dyes, and solvents. The pharmaceutical industry uses corn in the development of various medicines. Um, it is loaded with carbohydrates and nutrients like vitamins A, B, and C. Including corn in your diet can lower the risk of diabetes and hypertension. You'd never think that with just eating corn. The antioxidants present in corn are believed to improve eye health. Corn can be made into flour or syrup, and it is also commonly used to feed livestock. It can also be transformed into ethanol, which can be used as fuel for automobiles. Corn can even be processed and used to make, well, plastic. The We have several ethanol plants here in Minnesota, so because we grow so much corn, it's easy for them to get it right over to that. So, uh, oh, thank you, Patty. You are right on it. Hi, Michelle. Oh, yes, I know. A lot of people are allergic to corn too, but I put that out as being because it's so GMO. There's like no, it's almost not even recognizable genetically or chemically or anything to what it was 100 years ago. So you've got all of that, and so you can make corn chowder. Oh, yes, yes, it's clam chowder. Spoken from somebody up in the northeast there. um, Let me see if I'm missing anything here. Okay. So, um, in the study of genetics, for example, corn is always referred to as maize. In America, Australia, and New Zealand, corn can be used in reference to the plant the cob grows on. The individual kernels are found on the cob of the popular crop and the cob itself. Yes, you read like this. You read that correctly. Corn produces ears of corn. Corn is indeed corn, both on the cob and off. Yes, it's all there. uh, so corn chowder. My mom used to make chowders a couple of, not often, but on occasion. Um, of course, I think what we ate as a family was whatever whatever mom was craving at that point in time. If it was something unusual, like it's like, I feel like a good corn chowder. It's like, okay, the whole family's going to eat it, right? That's what's on the menu for tonight, folks. So, anyway, there you go. Um, so, if you get some maize or you talk to somebody about maize, know that you're getting good old fashioned corn too. You love corn chowder. Oh, that's awesome. Um, so, what other kind of chowders do you guys have? So, there's clam chowder and corn chowder. Um, potato soup is not a chowder, right? I don't. So, you can make your own corn syrup, which is not like the corn syrup. Ooh, Patty, do tell there. That would be a great recipe. Taking your corn and making your own syrup from it. Hmm. Amish chicken corn soup. Okay. The genetically altered corn that has genes spliced into it is more allergic as a food than corn that was just crossbred. So totally agree, Patty. Absolutely agreed. Seafood chowder. Okay. Um, yeah, it wouldn't have to be just clams in there. I suppose you could have, um, so you could do a shrimp chowder, a halibut chowder, big chunks of other cooked fish in there. Autumn chowder. What is autumn chowder? Oh, yeah. Potato soup, wild rice chowder. Oh, so what is the basic chowder recipe? I mean, because I don't know that I've made a chowder from home, from scratch, from homemade, and so it's like so it would just be the same basic thing. You just add different things into it, right? Or do you have to cook it down with that? I mean, could you do like a meatball chowder or something like that? Does it need that protein in there or like you said, rice chowder or something? Does it need that in there to create some kind of bonding or changing or whatever that goes into that to make it something different? I would like to know. Autumn chowder has corn, potatoes, bacon, bit of cheese. And, ooh, that sounds really good. Maybe with potato corn chowder. Joy used to make a cornbread with whole kernel corn, green chilies, and cheese. Oh, that sounds really good. Fish chowder. You've had some lovely seafood chowders with all manners of fish in it. Very nice. Mom used to make chowders, not in a while, maybe soon, and the best. California chowder, which is basically thickened vegetable. Why wouldn't it be, right? Leave it to California to be just a vegetable chowder. I'm sorry for any of you who are from California. Um, heaven's essential it is, but broccoli cheddar chowder. Okay. Wow, there's all kinds of chowders. I did not know. There we go. I am going to actually see if I can. Oops, no, it won't let me. I'm going to copy that link. Let's see if I can get in there. Well, it's another YouTube video, that's why. Oops, something went wrong. DIY corn syrup recipe. That's interesting. Smoked salmon. Ooh, now that would be good. Smoked salmon. So like a cheese chowder. I know we talked about having some cheese in there with bacon and potatoes. So it's really just a creamy base and then adding something else in there. I'm just wondering what makes it a chowder versus like a um, cream of mushroom soup or a cream of chicken soup or something. Do you have a cream soup? What makes it a chowder? Is there something, a specific ingredient that makes it different in that way, um, or a process or something, or the way you cook it, or just wondering. uh, Smoked salmon, yes. Oh, that would be so good. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Patty. Um, yeah, I'll have to check on that. So, good question. Okay. Well, let me see. I'd love to do research. What's the difference between cream soup and chowder. Chowder is a thicker kind of soup as it is cream-based, while soup in general is usually made much thinner and has broth. Well, I suppose with like a cream of mushroom soup, even though you get it condensed, you add water or broth or something to it, it is thinner. So a chowder is a thicker kind of soup. That's what they're saying. Well, soups can be thin and light. A chowder is characterized by being rich and thick. Like stew, it contains large chunks of meat or seafood. So thick cream-based soup, which is chunky. There we go. So over this weekend, make your chowder. With all that leftover turkey and potatoes. Ooh, you could do that, right? You'll have you'll have like whipping cream or half and half leftover from all of the desserts and everything, and from making your fresh whipping cream for your pumpkin pies. So you have some of that left over. You'll have like some potatoes. You'll have yeah, turkey. So just make a really good chowder in there. You can throw some corn in there too if you wanted to. Throw some maize and tell everybody's like, this is my maize turkey chowder. There you go. Come up with something new. Turkey chowder. Yes. There you go. Clams, prawns, salmon. Oh, wow. How you gave a good list here. Clams, prawns, salmon, halibut, crab, heavy cream, cream cheese, dill, pepper, seaweed, rice flour, thicken, seafood chowder, sea salt taste, 1 drop liquid smoke. Oh my goodness, that sounds great, Howie. I have to, oops. I tried to screenshot and the screen moved. Okay. Maybe they were called chowders before all the cream of something soups. That could be, Donna. That could be. And Campbell's changed the whole face of soupdom. They changed chowderdom. They changed the face of food. You know, it's like, okay. Then I guess the chunky brand soups are more of a chowder. They do clam chowder. Oh, turkey chowder with some rosemary potatoes. Oh, see, you guys, look at more leftovers, some good stuff for leftovers. There you are. That's true, Patty. Absolutely. Cream of broccoli is basically broccoli chowder. Oh, yeah. I do like a good cream of broccoli soup. It's got to be a good one, though. I mean, because you can get the ones that just taste so fake, right? That just aren't there. So, chowders are popular in New England. They have cook-offs. Nice. Um, yeah, I don't know that they haven't been as big, I don't think, in my area of the country. I don't know, Donna, what do you think? Um, I mean, there's sometimes on the menus and stuff like that, but usually we go for more of the soups and stews, I think. You know, if it's creamy, oh, I make a really good creamy chicken wild rice soup. Chicken wild rice soup. Oh, it's so good. It's creamy. And yes, it's not, I mean, it's not everything made from scratch, but it's close enough. So I just put it in my little crock pot and just let it slow cook for 4 hours on high, and you've got excellent chicken wild rice soup. So I put in chunks of chicken and dice up carrots and then wild rice and onions, finely diced onions in there. So it's carrots, onions, white rice, chicken broth, and cream of celery soup. It's got to be the cream of celery soup. The cream of chicken makes it a little odd tasting, but the cream of celery soup. And then just throw all that in the crock pot, cook it down for 4 hours, and at the end, then you add a half and half to it to make it creamy. And by then, Everything is so good. It's just cooked up. So and you've got to cook it until the wild rice bursts, just fully blooms out because then it gets like super thick and just oh, it's so good. I've made it twice already this fall. And I think I have some more I've got another thing to do that I can make some more. But it's like you're getting hungry. I know I haven't had dinner yet either, so I'm like, oh, but um New England is huge for fishing, so they would make a lot of fishy soups. So true, so true. Yes, chicken wild rice soup, absolutely. That's really popular here. We tried to make cheesy potato broccoli soup. Ooh, that sounds good. Oh, so it's cheesy potato soup then. Okay. You make your own cream of celery and cream mushroom soup cost is stupid high. It is. For one little can, it was like 2.24 or something like that for a little can of soup. And I'm just like, what? Those are some of the things I haven't bought for a long time. Um, that sounds really, really good. That's true. That's a good idea, Patty. I think I will. Uh, you try to lurk, but you just can't keep your fingers quiet. I hear you, Michelle. I heard your fingers. Uh, well, thank you, Howie, for coming. I really appreciate that so much. Um, soup, yes. All winter long, you just need soup. It's so good. Yes to the soup video. Okay. I will do a soup video then. Absolutely. Okay. There. I got it. I have a note to myself. Do a soup video. Alrighty. My garden tip for the night is now that pretty much everybody's done growing outside for the most part. Um, I'm under 7 inches of snow. Everything's frozen, so definitely not growing anything out there. But if you have house plants, you have things that are growing in here. Give your house plants a boost. Okay, give them a little love at this point in time. Fertilize them. Maybe add fresh soil. Up pot them if you need to. If they're getting a little crowded, give them some fresh stuff. If you need to separate them or whatever you do. So give them a little love there. Also, in the winter months, add a humidifier or a vaporizer to your house. It increases the humidity for your plants too, and not just for yourself. So if you find yourself having to water them a lot more often, they are struggling then too because the humidity is way too low. So think about that. My prep tip is whenever you get a supply of something, I just have this right here. It's this hand lotion. So if it has an expiration date on it, if you're getting supplies and instead of looking at things to try to hunt for where it is, and you're just like, where is the expiration on this? I don't even know. Was it on the other package? So anyway, best thing to do when you've got, shelves full of supplies and different things, so you're not spending all your time hunting for that. Just write on here, like, I'm just going to put 8/24. So just write something on here so you can quick find out, because as you buy it and you're putting it on your shelf, you should be able to know about when you do it. Or you could say purchased 8/22 or something like that. So as you're seeing, it's like, okay, this is 3 years old. I wonder if it's any good anymore, that type of thing. But I've started doing that with a lot of my things, and I'm finding that it helps so much, especially if I have 8 tubes of toothpaste or something. And I'm like, okay, they all have different expiration dates, but I don't want to be sitting there looking at each tube and going, when do you expire? So if I have it written really big, then it'd be like, there we go. So, um, Make a corn chowder video. I don't know. I'll think about that one, Dave. Because I don't know if I've ever made corn chowder, and I don't know if that's something I'd eat. I'm not sure. Commercial cream of whatever is made with flour, you're gluten free, so you make your own cream. So that I would actually really like to do. I've made them from um, what do you call it? Cashew milk, from cashews, ground cashews, and made some things that way, a cream of mushroom soup, but it took me forever. It really took a long time. So no worries, Alicia. That's too fine. So you have peas growing? Ah, yeah. Succulent. Saving rain or snow for house plants. Great idea, Joy. Very good idea. Exactly, Patty. They make them so small. Embossed into it. I saw something here, but I can't read. It's just like a code, a number, like 220L988. Well, I mean, it's nothing there. So it might have been on the wrapping. I think there was a plastic wrap or something on it. So that it probably was on that. So anyway, oh, good for you, Donna. Blooming orchid. Yay. I know. These aren't my reading glasses. So I was like, where are they? But I can see you guys clearly. You're all beautiful tonight. So anyway, my hour is up. This was really fun. I'm glad you guys were here. Thank you so much for coming. Have a very blessed week and weekend. If you're traveling for Thanksgiving, please be safe out on the roads. Hopefully the weather is good for you. And yeah, just be safe out there. So just take care. God bless. Always have hope. And we will see you guys next Monday. All right. Good night.